When you think about pollution and environmental impact, a lot of times people think of smokestacks. You just look at the four walls around you. What if the building were made from recycled materials? Imagine the dramatically reduced hit on our natural resources. Think of the energy it takes to run our buildings, all of the appliances and lights in those buildings. If we can reduce that impact, that's one of the best things we can do for all the people we share this planet with. Green, high-performance buildings are important for one major reason: people. Healthy, productive employees, healthy, productive children.
It's not just the environment, it's the environment and economics. It makes business sense and it makes environmental sense. The Commonwealth has been a leader in the last years in developing green buildings and moving on energy efficiency. We can do more.
Every once in a while, we see a win, 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 and we grab it. It's a win for the environment, it's a win for the economy, and it's a win for our health, well-being, and happiness.
As we think about how to design new buildings, as well as we think about how to renovate some of our existing facilities, it stands to reason that we need to be paying attention to those things for a number of reasons. One, because they impact student learning directly. They have an effect. Two, because they can be cost effective in terms of how we handle it. And three, because they can be a teaching tool themselves.
If I graduate from high school, I cannot believe how many days I'd be spending in school. That is so much time.
Being in this school, the kids feel like this is their second home.
They're the ones that are going to have to live in whatever environment is created today.
A school building has an impact on the community and should have.
With the older building, we get hot and sweaty just like the kids do. Teachers were becoming hoarse and children were having difficulty hearing.
I've worked in schools where the windows couldn't be opened. In fact, in schools that had no windows.
The only reason we're there for schools is the students. And I think we want to make the best environment we can for them to achieve their peak performance.
And it seems to me that the green school, the high-performance schools, will give that kind of environment to our children.
Very important to the district as well as to the students. That is environmentally sound as well.
When we first bounced the idea off the school board, there was some skepticism.
We're also looking at building a green building with a silver rating.
The question I'm asking, what's that do for us?
A high-performance school focuses on the needs of the occupants, focuses on what's important to those occupants to help them perform at their peak.
We had the one-room schoolhouse for many years, and as education continued to get more complex, the buildings got more complex, and supporting that educational process is the challenge, the present challenge we have in school design.
And even better,
as a school board member, you're not there just to rubber stamp a design.
We've incorporated many of your recommendations.
I wanted to facilitate the development of a really remarkable new school. There were really three reasons why I wanted to look at the green design. We would have a more comfortable working and learning environment. We would reduce energy consumption costs over time. And it would not be as damaging to the environment as a traditional building would be.
1, 2, 3.
Any distraction you have, whether it be acoustic, whether it be air quality and ventilation, whether it be lighting, all those things can distract you, can make you less alert, and not be able to focus.
Half my school is windowless, and it's just, I don't like it.
In the 70s and 80s, we were building a lot of schools with no windows at all. The bottom line has to be the health and welfare of the children. So if there's anything that we can do in the design of buildings that helps children, well, that's your first priority. As soon as we present the study, people want to know, why does daylighting have such a powerful effect? Most daylit classrooms are brighter. They have a continuous spectrum of light. It increases the visibility both for the students and the teachers. It enhances the color. It's a visually richer environment.
When our architect shared with us that increasing the natural light in classrooms can increase student learning and in fact boost test scores by up to 26%, that was the hook for me. I wanted to do what was best for kids and for learning, and that sounded like a pretty significant impact.
When we looked at how the average student was performing, we found that the students with the most amount of daylight were learning 20 to 25% faster on the standardized reading and math curriculums.
Is the divisor the one outside the symbol?
Everybody's familiar with the term sick building syndrome. And it's especially important in schools because the most vulnerable people in our society are the children.
I have a lot of friends with asthma. I have one friend that's out every month or so.
Parents find that children are having asthma much more frequently and that environmental aspects are really affecting them.
You have off-gassing from various building materials. You have mold growth, you have disease that can sort of spread. All of that builds up.
And of equal importance is carbon dioxide. If it gets to a certain level, kids get sleepy. Typically happens about 2 or 3 in the afternoon, or in schools a little earlier because they're occupied earlier.
So ventilation is very important, getting fresh air. I call it fresh air architecture.
Acoustics is the science of sound.
You require very low background noise, which we happen not to have in this office at the time, and low reverberation.
There's background noise right now from the outside of trucks dumping things right here. And there's a particular level at which I can speak above it without being loud.
Sound it out, Caroline. Arithmetic tells you how many...
If the conditions are right for understanding, you'll get learning. At that point where the kid gives up, it's gone.
The other major benefit associated with doing these high-performance buildings is significantly reduced operating costs.
In any building project that we go into, we have to look at cost and we have to look at potential savings.
It was critical that I become a good steward of local taxpayer dollars, that I kind of got the most bang out of the buck for what we were going to be doing for our community.
Okay. Clearview is approximately 40,000 square feet. A typical school in our region consumes energy at the rate of about $1 a square foot per year. This school will consume about 40 cents less per square foot per year. That's roughly $16,000 a year saved by the school district just on that one school.
That's huge. It's huge. And why wouldn't we do that? I mean, that's saving taxpayers' dollars down the road and for many years to come.
With daylighting, which really requires less electrical energy, you're providing better quality light, but you're reducing energy consumption. So the two really dovetail quite well.
I turned the lights off because it saves electricity.
There is no reason why you can't save 40 to 50% of energy based on conventional practices using state-of-the-shelf technology. No reason at all.
Low winter sun allows the light to penetrate.
If you can reduce operating costs in terms of energy and water savings and maintenance savings.
There's a description from the energy audit.
And you can do that with conventional first costs, it's almost a no-brainer.
Take a look at some more, yeah.
I had no idea for years about how it all related to each other. Where did the electricity come from? What's generating it? What's making it?
I don't know.
And we teach our children all sorts of things, but we must teach them to be good stewards of the environment.